I'm muted. Yeah, I was muted. Daggone it. A little thrown off, that's all. So, like, I have on my interface on the computer, I can mute the mic, and then I also have a button right here on the mic itself to where I can mute. And, yeah, I guess I had one. I guess I had the computer interface muted, but not the mic. So I got confused because there's a little green button right here with the mic, and then of course I can do this through the interface. So yeah. But what I was trying to say though was currently watching this tornado warning here. Contingents. Contingents was talking about this on Discord with the storm over here to the south. Not really much in the way of convection, but this seems like it's panning out good for this storm because it seems like it's starting to wrap up pretty nicely now. Although rotation's kind of pulsing in and out here, it seems like it really wants to mature a lot more than what it's showing right now. But we'll have to just kind of wait and see what's happening with that. Low level jet's really strong across this area here, so I am a little bit interested to see what happens with this. There is a threat for significant tornadoes overnight tonight, so we'll see how long we can hack this for until it's time for me to go to work. So it's going to be interesting. Not just with the storms, but whether or not I can hack it the whole way, which I'm hoping I can. I'm pretty sure I can, actually. I'm talking about. How's everyone doing? How's everybody doing? Also, we'll still be kind of flipping back and forth here between the winter storm and potential blizzard conditions that are going to be further to the north. Yeah, I've been kind of checking in on those on and off. Actually, before this warning went up, I did look at the Shreveport radar site just to kind of keep an eye on those. I've been kind of watching this throughout the night, just trying to see exactly what would happen and what time I should maybe go live. So this is, of course, door number one, and then over towards Texarkana, which is really the spot I was thinking was going to be the point of interest anyway, is door number two. So I'm keeping an eye on this right here, right now. I think this will become an area of interest a little bit later. I'm really appreciative of you guys popping up here. Also, make sure you hit that like button too. Definitely make sure you're hitting that like button. Definitely could use the help here. But appreciate all of you so much for popping up here tonight. Like I was really expecting probably to have maybe if I'm lucky 2 people. I mean, it'd probably be meaningless, but also if you could hit that share button too, do that as well. Oop. Huh. Playback. This ain't my first rodeo. Yeah. Well, good news is, and maybe not so good news all at the same time is that well, we're gonna probably end up having a short day today because of the fact that well, this storm system's heading our way. By the time it's about probably 10 o'clock, we're going to probably end up dealing with some of this weather. And it's only going to go downhill from that point. So I'll probably be working maybe at most for about 2 hours. Are you good in Kentucky? Yes, you're good in Kentucky for a while. Everything's going to mostly be to the south of you. So, no worries, DJ. But yeah, it's gonna be a short day on my end here. So probably can get away with this a little bit easier. Am wait, what? I'm kind of confused. I know it's late, so yeah. If I'm misunderstanding stuff, bear with me. But am I good? Well, I'm good for somebody streaming at 1 o'clock. I mean, I'm cognizant, I'm awake, I guess. Maybe like 70%. I'll probably come around more as we go further along into the stream here. Kind of wrapping around on, kind of seeing some good wrapping around on the backside here with this little cell. It's mainly what we're going to be watching here is you're 19%. Sounds like you've had a long day and maybe you should rest. It's no pressure if you want to go to sleep. I'm not tripping. Shoot, if I was you, I'd sleep. I would sleep too. This is starting to look a little better here. This storm over towards Benton. Really messed up thing about Arkansas is there's not many sky cams available, so I can't really get like a lot of visuals, which is really irritating. You have one in Bentonville, but not in Benton itself. So, just one of those things we're going to be dealing with probably throughout the night. There aren't going to be too many chasers out here right now. In fact, it looks like Brandon and Vince and them, they're not even active according to Radar Omega, which I can't blame them for. It's a tough field. Oh yeah, you gotta love that little in-betweener time frame. That's what I always call it, the in-betweener time frame. It's my favorite. You gotta love like when I get up first thing in the morning too. When I try to look at the SBC outlooks, sometimes we'll like be in that little weird area, that weird like time frame to where we end up seeing day two switching over to day one, and then the original day one's just like gone. Just kind of messes with you a little bit, especially if you're not awake first thing. Also, depending on how things progress with this storm system, we will be occasionally even looking back over towards this area. For winter weather, we actually have blizzard warnings over here towards Des Moines. I'm probably going to see conditions really start to deteriorate for this area. Yeah, it looks like this storm's starting to struggle for the moment, but I do think there's a chance it could be cycling a little bit here. Really seems like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm expecting actually. Weak echo region right here. We'll have to watch that area to the south for a new point of interest as far as maybe rotation is concerned. But there's our weak echo region here. You represent it better by the donut hole. The Sulphur Springs being, huh? A little further off towards Texas. Wait, that's more toward. Isn't that more towards Oklahoma, actually? Dang, I cannot think straight right now. Hey, Tuck. Good to have you here, too. I've done a few outbreaks in the past that have been later into the evening. Sulfur string bean. Sorry, I'm not a fan of those. Yep, it is in Texas. I was right. Uh, it's a little far from the radar site. Yeah, that line started forming probably about maybe an hour or two ago, over towards Frisco, or that just went through Frisco. I've been kind of watching the satellite periodically as well as the radar in general. I was trying to really anticipate the best time to go live, I guess. Originally, I was going to do it at 10. Then I started seeing the convection kind of forming a little bit later and then also evolving a little bit slower. So I was thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to have to do this even later. So I just decided I'll just kind of hang back a little bit. I considered going live earlier to maybe look at the winter weather as well, but I don't know. Dang, man. Hair still feels matted up from earlier. But yeah, I've been watching this. I've been watching. I remember watching when these storms first started to blossom on the satellite here. Looks like they're continuing that tornado warning, by the way. Appreciate that, contingents. Appreciate that a bunch. I'm just trying to shake the cobwebs off. That took like maybe. Yeah, it was in that weak echo region a little earlier. But it's not that tight a rotation right now. It's actually growing a little bit more broad. But I think within the next couple of scans, if it continues to progress here, we could be talking a different story here. I am very concerned about the fact that this is going to be tracking towards the southern half of Little Rock here, too. So that's no bueno. Uh, hopefully, hopefully this doesn't ramp up any further because that could be a big problem. A large town or city getting hit by a tornado at this time of night here is never good. Just in general, it's not good, but a nocturnal one is even worse. Oh, hey, my phone's fully charged. That's good. All right, up to 9 people. Wow. So we got some night owls here tonight. Glad you could join us. glad you could join us. Currently looking at one tornado warning, and this does include the town of Little Rock, by the way. If you're new around here, definitely would urge you to consider subscribing. We don't get to cover every outbreak here because I do have a day job, and actually, probably depending on how things go, at some point, either you will see me have to end the stream because I have to go to work, or I'll end up either going to bed depending on how things go. But if it stays active, we're going to probably be here all the way up until the time I have to get dressed and leave for work. But that being said here, welcome. We also, if things get quiet for a little bit, we can also check out the blizzard that we have going on over towards Iowa, where we have blizzard warnings in effect right now too. So, like I said, plenty to keep track of here. We often try to keep track of the weather here as much as we can. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, contingents, if I'm being honest. I mean, it looked all right probably about like 3 or 4 scans ago, but it looks like it's kind of downtrending now. Rotation just seems to be broadening out a bit more. I mean, it's still there, and it could cycle a little bit later down the line, maybe, but honestly, I kind of feel like that's reaching a bit too. I mean, you can kind of see the rain starting to really get into this little inflow notch here too. You're up 6 p.m. or do you mean 6 a.m.? Just trying to make sure I understand you. 6 a.m. Normally I get up at about 5:30, 5:45 ish to get ready for work. So, I mean, 4 hours of difference isn't that bad, especially considering it's going to probably be a short day. Then on top of that, it's going to be difficult to work anyway, because doing pine straw in high winds anyway is not the most ideal thing. And to go along with that, also, I mean, just in general, literally 2 hours, can't really lay a whole lot of pine straw. Be lucky to get maybe even one building done. So, like I said, I'm probably just going to hone in on this, go to work, and then pick up my check and probably come back and stream a second time. Because once we get into the afternoon tomorrow, I do think the severe threat will return, but I don't think it'll be quite as potent or the potential may not be as high as what it is tonight. That little meso replacement cycle. Just what I thought was going to happen. I actually called that one. Only problem is it's still pretty messy. But, like I said, maybe down the line we might have something here. Donut or hot dog? I'm really not a fan of either like that. Yeah, it seems like it's going to try to cycle. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to try to do a little cycle here. This could be the first of several. Who knows? These wintertime systems are really hard to forecast too, so it doesn't make things easier. That's for sure. Then also, just in general, The amount of wind energy with this storm system as a whole here is represented really well with these wind advisories. Even my area's got one right now over towards Atlanta. But these little apricot looking polygons here, those are all wind advisory. These are non-thunderstorm winds. So in either case, if you're anywhere east of Memphis, pretty much, you're going to be dealing with some really strong winds here within the next couple of days for sure. So it's just one really big, broad mess of stuff going on here. This point, a little further off to the northeast of Alexander, looks like a point of interest now. If anything, if that tightens up, other than that, it just looks like just a little bit of everything going on here. Ooh, excuse me. The heck is this video I'm watching? I am keeping on other chasers, looking at videos, looking at the Blizzard in particular. But outside of that, really no, like I said, no one really down here. No one. I don't think anyone's really wanting to chase at night. And then on top of that, a lot of uncertainty with this setup too. So it doesn't surprise me that not everybody was wanting to latch onto this one. Oh, excuse me. So I guess I'll go ahead and grab my controller here and change this out really quickly. Oh. Yeah, this QLCS here really is going to be mostly influenced by a lot of lift, a lot of shear in this case. A little further off to the south is where that cape is going to kind of kick in, maybe, because I wasn't expecting it to form this far to the north. I thought it was going to be forming more towards Texarkana to start out. I mean, I thought it was possible we could get a little action here because this is like going to be, it's almost kind of like a semi-cold core type setup, but it's, or demi-cold core type setup, for lack of a better term. But look over here, even with me looking at the Perry County Weather Watchers thing, it never really got above 60 over here when the storm started rolling in. So like I said, it's a really odd setup. Very complex, severe setup. Even Trey Greenwood from Convective Chronicles was saying the same thing. A blizzard with tentacles. Yeah, and it's ironic that you say that too, because literally just behind this right here, you see the winter weather advisories over here towards northwest Arkansas. And right just beyond where those warnings are, or those advisories are, you see the severe thunderstorm warnings. Yeah, this is undoubtedly the southeast tentacle. And then on top of that, if you actually look at the WSSI, then you see these tentacles here. So it's literally one of the weirdest weather octopuses that I have ever seen. I've seen a couple. But this one is very unique. Cold boy with warm fingies. That does not sound good. That is a pause right there, sir. And I can't believe I just read that out loud. I guess that might be a blooper. That might be blooper worthy. That's up to you guys. That is completely up to you guys what you decide to do with that. I will put the power in your hands. Uh-oh. I guess Tuck heard me say that, or he read the comment. Yeah, I think this rotation's about gone for now. There's no pressure. If the medicine wins, then it wins. It's no big deal. I'll be here for a little bit at the very least. Like I said, it really just depends on how this ends up going here. Like if it ends up going slow by about 3 or 4 o'clock, when I would think the peak time would kick in, I might go to sleep for at least an hour or two. Oh, excuse me. If I yawn tonight, cut me some slack. I'm just saying. Try my best. Alright, so while I'm out of here, I may as well look at a couple of meso discussions. See if there's anything new going on. Looks like there is not. So we'll wait for this tornado warning to expire, and then we'll kind of try to take a look at what's going on over towards Iowa right now. I'm really interested to see just what kind of conditions they're experiencing right now. Also, if you happen to be in an area that has a wind advisory right now, type a 1 in the chat. Even though there's only 6 of you, I know, but still, I want to try to make this as interactive as I can. Try to make this a decent live stream. It may not be perfect because, you know, it's like 1 a.m., but try to get some energy rolling in here. One you think, I think you're still in a wind. I think if you're in, I think Fresco's still under a wind advisory right here. These little apricot colored polygons. But yeah, if you're in one of these little oddly colored polygons, you have a wind advisory in effect for your area. There's mine, so yeah. I guess I might as well just type one. We. I'll be surprised if they actually extend this warning here. Oh wait, maybe, maybe not. Nah, nah. Looks kind of wacky right now. Yeah, rave mode. But that's partially because I think we're close to we're like pretty much right under the radar site. Once you get like within that 5 mile threshold, it'll really start to do that. Hang on. Uh oh. It wasn't that bad. We've seen some much worse rave modes. Remember last year, whenever we were monitoring around New Mexico and whatnot. Now those rave modes were crazy. New Mexico and then also Colorado, towards like I forget where it was, Vale maybe. It'll come. Yeah, it will. I'm pretty sure. Usually, tack on it. Maybe a different radar site could have been the reason why. If you look further up, I think the radar site to the south might have been the reason why. Come to think of it, if you looked over towards Texas radar, maybe even Louisiana, it could be that too. Yeah, I do kind of see it. Just a little bit. Still not as bad as some of the other ones we've seen. Like I said, the ones we saw last year were incredible. Like you could go on a full on disco. You could go into like a full on disco bar with that kind of stuff, and it would pass as like great lighting. Southeastern Storm is vibing. Cue the SpongeBob music. I'm just playing. There you go. That's a blooper. Yeah, this storm's about done. Seeing clear sign of outflow dominance for now. Apparently, so this one's got some decent hail on it. We might be looking at a ping pong size hail, ping pong ball size hail with this storm. A little that's adjacent to this tornado warned storm. Soon to be formally tornado warned at this rate. It's 8 minutes to go with that tornado warning. I think they'll just let it expire naturally. The looks of it here. Excuse me. So, another thing I want to kind of ask is I'm pretty sure a lot of you know that right behind this system there's going to be some really cold air. How are all of you preparing for that? You getting the firewood, you getting yourself set up with space heaters. How are you preparing to deal with it? Because I actually will end up having to work in it, which is going to be fun. Not my first rodeo with that either, with being in some gnarly cold weather, but still not looking forward to it. Definitely, definitely would urge anyone to make sure that they're leaving their water running too. Not like heavily, but leave the faucet dripping, that kind of deal. So I'm with you there, Tuck. Yeah. Yeah, those Texas winter storms are nothing to play with. I remember those I remember that one in 2021, of course. This is shortly before I did the before this was like a year before I started the channel, but I was keeping track of all of those, and it was it was just like the way things just kind of progressed for you guys was just it just even to this day I was just like, wow, who would have thought? So I was feeling pretty bad for you guys when that happened. Ooh, your bathroom almost burst. We don't get that many storms around here either, so I could honestly see a similar scenario happening possibly. Just hopefully the officials handle it well. And like I really feel like a lot of people on the upper echelon in Texas kind of dropped the ball there for sure. And that's putting it lightly if I'm being honest. Like, it was just a huge mess, just lack of preparation, everything. Seeing increasing convection over here, a little further off to the west of Hot Springs. So it's these storms that I'm going to be more interested in here. Like I said, I was really interested in Texarkana from the start. So anything forming around that vicinity is going to catch my eye once this tornado warning expires. Okay. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump over here now. I'm interested in what the convection's going to look like a little bit further off to the south here. Like I said, I'm thinking between Texarkana and Arkadelphia within the next couple of hours is going to become a point of interest. And from that point, we'll just kind of see things progress from there. Yeah, it looks like everything's kind of struggling right now, if I'm being honest, man. Like I said, I'm not really surprised. I think the beginning was going to be questionable, but as we continue to go forward here, I think that we'll probably at least maybe get a couple of cells to fire off. All right, so I guess since we probably have 2 minutes left on the tornado warning, I actually guessed that right. 2 minutes left on the tornado warning. I'll actually take a look here and see if we can't find any live feeds of the blizzard right now. We'll keep Radar Omega in like the side, in like a side panel here, and just kind of go from there. Alright, appreciate it, contingents. I'll hang in there for as long as I can, depending on what happens here with the weather. And here we go. We're starting to see those conditions begin to really deteriorate here in Des Moines. So, like I said before, we have a blizzard warning going on here, so we're likely to be seeing winds above 40 miles an hour in regards to gust here. Actually, probably going to even see those in sustained as well. The real concern at this point is going to be the lack of visibility, which we're going to see a further deterioration of conditions as we continue to go through the night here. So we'll go ahead and see what kind of audio we might get here. But you can actually kind of see it now. Those buildings that are typically in the forefront from this live shot here, they're starting to get harder and harder to see. And for a guy that has 20/20, the fact that I'm struggling to see them does say something. It's a kind of a testament to how quickly things are starting to go downhill here. You can even also see the what looks to be one of the road treatment trucks over here going through. Oh wow, we're up to 12 likes now. Thank you guys. And now that tornado warning has officially expired. So, like I said, I'm keeping an eye on it on my on both my secondary screen as well as my phone. So, something else changes, we'll switch back over. But for right now, we're just gonna pretty much be looking at mainly the blizzard over towards mostly going to be Iowa here. Do have deteriorating conditions in Nebraska as well, but not as much of a view over there. Most of the cameras seem to be more so over towards Iowa at this point. Of course, mainly around the capital, which is Des Moines. But it looks like Omaha actually is about to catch some pretty hefty snow here. think I do have one camera that I can look at over here. Looks like actually it looks like that camera's out. Or is it? In either case, though, we'll just kind of work around things as needed, I suppose. Switch back to Radar Omega for a moment so that way you can kind of see just exactly what we're looking at over here towards Des Moines. Got some heavy snow over here and some pretty strong winds right over downtown, it looks like right now. And then over towards Omaha, you can see that snow shield stretching pretty far back. Even towards parts of south central Nebraska, probably even shifting even into parts of Kansas. We're seeing some wintry precipitation as well. So, like I said, very dynamic system here. And eventually we're going to see conditions even deteriorate towards Davenport, Iowa, and even maybe towards Chicago a little bit later on. So, either way, there's plenty to keep track of here. Even if we aren't seeing it an immediate severe weather outbreak or anything of that variety. If you have any requests on what you might want to see here, just kind of let me know. Appreciate whoever's throwing those emojis up. It's keeping things entertaining, keeping it fresh in chat. Just keep giving me something to look at, folks. That's the main thing right now. Either way, I appreciate it a bunch. Oh, you can see that visibility continuing to kind of go downhill now. Dubuque, Iowa. Yeah, I can do that. I can actually just go straight to street level if you'd like, actually. Here you are. Right now you're still dealing with pretty light snow. I think the heavier stuff is a little bit further away from you. The heavier snow still is over towards Cedar Rapids, but it'll be coming your way shortly. Also get a look at which direction it's coming from too. Oh, it's heading to the north. Ooh, over towards Davenport though, it looks like they're about to get walloped by this snow band here. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up getting a meso discussion all by itself here. This looks like it could be dropping 1 inch plus snowfall rate, 1 inch an hour snowfall rates. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest at all. No problem, Big Tech. Just been I love doing this kind of stuff, but it's kind of tricky right now with the day job I got. I'm trying to build this to where I can do this all the time, but of course we're still a small channel, but I do this pretty often whenever I can. We'll probably be live tomorrow, try to cover the other half of the severe event, and we'll probably try to cover this where we can, but you know, it's kind of a touch and go thing with the way my day job is. I do landscaping. It's gonna be a short day too, so eh. Looks like I probably could get a live view of Chicago too. Okay, let's see if we can get a good shot from Lake Chicago or Lakeshore Drive if it's at all possible. Of course, advertisements. Gotta love it. Urgh. Yeah, you got a gnarly snow band heading your way. This and then of course there's another system that's actually supposed to be right behind this one as well. So, like I said, it's gonna be an active couple weeks here. Looks like Chicago at the moment is pretty quiet, but I anticipate that changing very quickly. Where's Des Moines? Oh, you can see a little bit of swirling going on here. It's pretty cool. Also, just in case anyone hasn't, definitely would urge you to hit that like button if you could. And also, if you're new around here, just in case you haven't subscribed, definitely would urge you to do that. Probably going to be up here. We're probably going to be live for a while here, but I'm just trying to just trying to shake the cobwebs off. I took a little nap beforehand, thinking it would make me feel better, but it's kind of slowed me down a little bit more, if anything. Yeah, there's gonna be probably a large swath across. I'm gonna actually have to zoom out, but it's a pretty large swath from I would say here through here, and forgive me, I know this is a crappy circle, but where we could see probably close to 10 inches, if not more, locally. Locally higher totals even possible as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few spots even reach a foot or more. Okay, let's go back to the live camera over here towards Des Moines, and I think I had one of Chicago still. Oh yeah, you guys got hit pretty hard by drought during the back half of summer onward. At one point, you guys couldn't stop getting storms, and then once they stopped, they stayed gone. All right, wow. I'm surprised how many people have honestly been able have honestly yeah, geez, my brain is not working. I'm honestly surprised with how many people have actually shown up on here tonight. Some new faces, some old faces. Just want to say appreciate it a bunch. Making this a lot easier too. That's for sure. Also have to watch Milwaukee a little bit later down the line here too. Like I said, I have quite a few cameras set up that I can look at throughout the night. But Des Moines seems like the hot spot for right now. Can I pull up a wind map of wind gust? Yeah, I should be able to. I can kind of show you what lies ahead too. Okay, let's make sure we got everything up here. I can show you what's expected over the next 6 hours because this model's still loading here. But this is a little bit towards your area here. Probably by the time we get towards about maybe, let's say 3, 4 a.m. your time, that's when those wind gusts are really going to start to ramp up. Probably might ramp up an hour before then. And they're pretty much going to be persistent across the board here. You can actually go back a model and or go back one run, and I could actually show you just how long that could last here. And it looks like it's pretty much going to be persistent throughout the entire day. Strongest wind gusts actually starting to kick in towards the back half of the evening tomorrow. So even when the snow stops falling, that blowing snow is going to be a big problem for you guys over there towards northeastern Iowa in particular. Excuse me. Yeah, I would hope that you wouldn't lose power either. The good news is that this isn't an ice storm. The vaping, I remember those days on my part. Yeah, I stopped vaping ages ago. But yeah, you definitely want to have a charging station available just in case somehow things really start to go sour here. Looks like we're almost at the point now where we can't see any of these buildings outside of this main one in the forefront. And really, I think we're just getting started over here. Just based off of what we just saw with the wind maps there. All right, so we're switching over to Chicago real quick. We're gonna switch back to the radar. Let's kind of get an idea of what's going on over here. It still looks like it's pretty dry at the moment, though. And then we'll start to shift our attention over to eventually Chicago, Madison, Milwaukee, and then maybe even before the stream's up, we may even be taking a look at potentially Detroit here. Yeah, you. I was pretty well known for still having a lot of above ground lines. Surprisingly, over here towards where I live, there's still plenty of them as well. They're starting to go away little by little, but I think it's a long process to transition over. Hang on a second. I don't know if I'm seeing that right, but it looks like the water right here is already frozen. If so, sheesh. It's not surprising that it's already been pretty cold over here. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to snap out of it. I want to put some music on here, but I've been getting a lot of copyright claims lately, so I've been struggling with that. So, like I said, just kind of bear with me here. I'm trying to figure this all. I'm trying to figure out how to really run this stream tonight. I don't blame you, Tuck. Looks like for the most part your area is good to go. Appreciate you even stopping by here. I'm really just kind of going. It's kind of looking like it's going to be touch and go for me. Maybe, maybe this isn't going to do much of anything, which would be a good thing. Be nice to catch a break on the severe weather side of things. I know with the wintry weather side, it still can be pretty bad. It's likely to be pretty bad. But I would much rather cover winter weather than severe weather, personally speaking. Hang on a minute. A little something there. Nothing incredible, though. Shifting back up to the winter weather, then, I guess, for the meantime. All right. Let's see if we can get a look at Cedar Rapids now, too. Since we're probably going to start to see conditions deteriorating over there now as well. Oh, wow. So, interesting thing to make note of here. So, I just found this right here. If I can get it to move over. This is Cedar Rapids cameras. Okay, advertisements. But yeah, look at what's going on in Cedar Rapids. It's crazy. Yeah, have a good night, Tuck. But look what's going on in Cedar Rapids here. You can't really see anything now. So if you're still here, Big Tuck, it's heading your way. You're probably gonna have like another maybe 10 minutes, maybe even less than that before business really begins to pick up over there. You're gonna start out seeing it as probably some light, maybe moderate snow, and then it's gonna only go downhill if it isn't already snowing. Okay. I guess we can try and add Davenport in there as well. Seems like they've already gotten a good little wallop in the snow here. Let's go over here towards Coralville. There we go. Go ahead and take a look at that. Get Davenport up here as well. Okay, it looks like we only got stills there. Wow, look at how much snow has accumulated here already. It's getting difficult for the road crews to stay ahead of things here, it looks like, too, at this point. It's going to be an uphill battle for a lot of these guys, it seems. chilly in here too, and it's not helping. It's kind of draining me a little bit. Let's go back to Des Moines real quick. Looks like we're starting to gain some visibility back here briefly. Also, I gotta use the restroom real quick. I will be back in just a second here. And I'm gonna get a cover, because it's a little chilly in here. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. It just got chilly in my room for whatever reason, but yeah, we're here. Sorry, like I said, sorry if I look a little rough. It's been a really odd evening. Trying to prep for the stream, washed my hair, and it's doing weird stuff. I think I might actually put a hat on. No, I'm not really liking how I look right now. I guess it'll stop me from trying to scratch my scalp into Kingdom Come. Let's go back real quick. Alright, we're good again. Okay, so switching back to Radar Omega right now. Oh, Brandon and Vince are actually going to be closing in on this blizzard now. So they're not really looking to chase the tornado threat here. which is kind of uncertain still. But definitely looks like we'll have some good eyes on the blizzard here. Blizzard's been making a lot of headlines for a while. We were kind of expecting a really significant snowstorm, so that comes to no surprise. But what we weren't so sure of at first was the severe weather threat until a little bit later on. Originally, I was a little skeptical of it, but it did start to look like it was ramping up here. It does look like also that the storms that we're starting to get going here are not really maturing like I was expecting them to. A couple of these look like they're pretty strong. Could see some damaging winds and some larger hail. This one actually has the potential for golf ball size hail. But really beyond that point, nothing really of major note here. This could be a slightly shorter stream than I was expecting to be broadcasting here, but we'll see what happens. If this is, like I said, if this would turn significant enough, I would stay all the way up until time for work, but it just doesn't really seem like it's going that route yet. We'll give it till about 3:30ish, and then we'll kind of go from there. In either sense, we'll be back tomorrow covering more of the winter weather. We'll probably be back by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost this one real quick. Looks like Coralville is starting to really ramp up here. Starting to lose a little bit more visibility here. Wonder where exactly this one is. This one looks a little bit quieter, but also we can see the amount of snow on the ground here. Still unburying from the last storm, from what one of our viewers, Big Tech, was saying. So definitely kind of feeling for anyone that's having to dig out from the snow. There is one positive though. It's the fact that most of this snow is going to be relatively dry. It's not really going to be much in the way of wet snow with this storm system. With wet snow, you typically will be closer to that 32-degree temperature. We're into the mid-20s here, so that moisture content is going to be pretty dry, and it's going to pretty much stay that way throughout the entire event. So, good news to be had there, but beware of any sort of potential chance of refreezing, as these temperatures are really going to start to plummet as we head into the weekend here. Keeping an eye on the severe weather again. Just jump on that for a little bit, and we'll kind of go on from that point. We'll put on another cover real quick. This is one of the few things I could play without it getting taken down here. Now you also know why the name is Hints Ty Metalhead Weatherman. To all two of you that are left. Wow, that snow van is incredible right there. I think there's actually a way I could actually look at just what the rate is. Accumulation's still surprisingly light, actually. I was anticipating higher totals, but okay. Looks like it's at a 1/4 inch an hour, which is about average. Well, the reflectivity return being as strong as it was definitely expecting something a little bit more impressive. Excuse me, y'all. Oof. Anyone that's just tuned in for the first time tonight in this very rare overnight stream on our part, we were originally looking at the threat of severe weather, but that hasn't really verified right now at this point. Could that change? Sure, but we're kind of shifting towards the winter weather threat while also waiting to see what happens further down to the south here. But also, there's blizzard conditions ongoing in some of these areas over here. Des Moines was dealing with some earlier. Davenport's getting into the action a little further. And this is only going to spread as time goes on here. So if you happen to be in these areas, might want to get something warm to drink. Make sure that you have all your phone and all your other personal items charged. And just kind of be ready for a long duration event here. Also, if you're new around here, also if you're just tuning in for the first time tonight, definitely would urge you to consider hit that like button, and if you're new around here, subscribe as well. I'm trying to grow this channel to where we can do this all the time. One of the more unique channels on YouTube at the very least. You don't really think about somebody that's into metal or plays metal and then also that's also like a full-on weather geek like me, or weather weenie, whichever one you want to call me. I can care less. Yeah, it looks like but I think we have some pretty hefty snow here. Here's this heavy snow pocket over here in particular that I've been watching over Des Moines for the last little bit here. But the interesting thing to make note of here for Des Moines and areas further over towards central and eastern parts of Iowa is the fact that the winds aren't really going to pick up till tomorrow. So this really isn't the worst conditions just yet. I think we're just really getting into the beginning here. But I'll give some of you a little bit of a look at what we've been seeing over here. This is a look at Des Moines right now. A little earlier, you could barely see these buildings that are in the background here. They're still kind of hard to see, but they were really hard to see earlier. So this is like a little taste of what we could be getting throughout the day today. And then also if we switch over to some of these cameras over here. In Cedar Rapids, for example, if this will work. Oh, this one actually is like legitimately down, or is just completely covered in something. But if you look over towards, let's say, Coralville, this gives you a good idea of just what we've been experiencing over here. Visibility has dropped off notably once again. And then also you can just see how much snow has fallen over here towards this area. Some of these areas could be expecting up to 10 plus inches tonight. So big time snow expected over here. And then, of course, with those winds really starting to ramp up throughout the day tomorrow, that's when conditions will almost certainly be at their worst. We'll probably be back live tomorrow to cover that as well. We'll probably be on here for about maybe another hour if nothing happens on the severe side of things. But this is just a general look at kind of what we've been tracking here for the last little bit. We have you up to speed now on this end. So this is our severe weather area for anyone that doesn't know, by the way. And like I said, right now, not much really going on here. Got a couple of severe warnings, but beyond that, most part we're just seeing rain, a little bit of lightning. Nothing too insane at this point. Just doesn't seem like the instability is really gonna aid in keeping these storms going, and really just starting to rage, going beyond those severe limits there. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this into a loop while we're at it. You can see the convection here just looking kind of messy at this point. This is kind of why I've been switching back towards the winter setup more. Just not much going on just yet. But still, seeing that increasing amount of lightning does lead me to believe that there's some chance of storms still getting going here. This looks a little bit more promising in regards to intensity. Okay. Sorry, it's pretty chilly right now in the house. Even though it's not necessarily super cold outside, I guess it's to the point where we don't really get the heat registering in here right now. So what I'll do now, I think we'll go back to live feed right here. You go seeing more of those Department of Transportation vehicles in Iowa. Doesn't look like looks like they're struggling just a little bit to keep up with it. I mean, those snowfall rates I think are a lot higher than what Radar Mega is kind of giving us right now. I don't think they're a quarter inch now. I think those rates are a little bit higher than that. In the meantime, though, it does look like things have slowed down just a little bit over here towards Des Moines for a moment. Hey, Mia. Oh, up to 10 viewers. That's a surprise for this late at night. Just a quick recap covering winter weather and severe weather. Although the severe side of things has been kind of slow right now. Waiting to see what happens with this southern mode here with these storms. Convection is definitely occurring, but we aren't seeing these storms really mature much. It's really going to be these storms to the front, on the frontal boundary, that are going to be getting going here. Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to take a little power nap before I started this stream, but as it turns out, I don't think that really helped me too much. So, probably be on here for a little while. Eventually, I probably may end up going to sleep. I may not. Really just depends on how things kind of play out. If nothing happens with the severe side, eventually we'll go to sleep and then try it again tomorrow whenever I get off of work, and then kind of go from there. Until then, we're pretty much mainly just watching winter weather right now. Like, we'll see an occasional severe thunderstorm here or there, but really nothing crazy going on here. Okay. So let's go ahead and take another look at some other cameras here. Take a look at Chi-Town here in the meantime after this ad clears out. That sounds about right. This is a pretty dynamic system, or these next couple systems really are going to be really dynamic. It just seems like that's really the trend right now with a lot of our storm systems. Come on, I want this ad to go away. There we go. Anticipating Colorado, not Colorado, wow. I'm anticipating Chicago to become more busy as we get later into the overnight hours here. Probably by the time we get towards about 4 a.m., 5 a.m., we'll probably start to see the snow increase in coverage over here. Excuse me. All right. Also, another area that we're going to be looking at a little bit later down the line will also be over towards Milwaukee. So heads up, folks. Oh wow, we're up to 17 likes. Thank you guys. Also, if you're new around here, definitely would I would urge you to consider subscribing. Also, we have channel memberships too if you're interested in that and supporting the channel further. No rush with that, but just one of many things we have going to try to push this channel a little bit further along here. Like I said, I'm trying to push towards doing this almost entirely full time now. But one thing that's going to kind of stop me with this stream is the fact that I actually have to go to work in probably like the next 3 hours. So I might go to bed, I might not. It really just depends on how things play out with the severe weather in particular. Go back towards Coralville for a second. Looks like we see looks to be more DOT vehicles still trying to fight with these roads here. I feel like they've kind of lost them for a moment here, but they don't look awful. They don't look like they're completely just snowed in, but I think eventually as time goes on they're going to lose that battle. So, like I said, if you haven't already gotten the supplies that you needed over here towards Iowa in particular, around Des Moines and around Davenport, the best thing you can do now is kind of just stay in place and just kind of ride her out. Conditions are only gonna worsen, especially as we go through tomorrow, because even once the snow stops falling, those winds are gonna really pick up, and that's what's really gonna make any sort of travel dangerous tomorrow. Fortunately, this system isn't it's not going to be a lurker. I guess I'll put it that way. You'll still see some snowfall, but mainly the winds and the lowered visibility are going to be the greatest hazards as we go throughout the day. Okay. So we're still looking at this line here. Not really much to talk about there. So I think I'm probably going to be calling it a night here within the next 30 minutes or so. Maybe within the next 20 actually. Just to make sure I'm able to drive to work in the morning without too much issue. Here's what our radar is looking like, and here's that heavy snow band with much more on the way. Looks like Omaha is also another spot that's going to be getting some pretty significant snow here too. I have no live feeds to look at over here in Omaha right now, unfortunately. But I can get some still shots of what's going on here. And then we also have a couple areas over towards Council Bluffs, for example, as well. The snow's starting to fall over here also. So here's Council Bluffs. Oh, this is actually a camera right here. But you can see that the snow's starting to fall here, starting to fall with some significance. Then here is also Union and Trust Bank off 144th and Dodge Street. That's in Omaha. But yeah, just across the board, though, you can tell that conditions here are deteriorating just as much as they are in Des Moines. All right. Now we're up to 19 likes. Wow. I'm really appreciating the love that I've gotten here tonight, this overnight stream here. I was really not expecting all that much to come from it. Thank you guys a bunch. Definitely made this a lot easier to do. So thanks to everyone who's liked, commented, subscribed, and more here. So that being said, still kind of on, I still would be on the lookout for severe weather if I were you. If you lived over towards Arkansas, Texas, and maybe also parts of Louisiana. But things right now just seem like they're still pretty slow. Timing of these storms might be a little bit, the timing of these storms ramping up may actually be a little bit later. It could be right towards the crack of dawn here, literally. The time the sun comes out, maybe that's when we get something going here. But it's really questionable at this point. This looks like the failed parameters that I was talking about in some of the forecast videos may have very well come into play here. Mainly thinking lack of instability has come into play for this. $20 likes. Wow, man. Seriously, you guys are freaking great. You guys are freaking awesome, man. Just want to say that. It's got about another, I probably got honestly another 10 minutes in before I could call it a night here. Just want to say, again, can't say it enough. Thank you guys again. Just, wow. Honestly. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a reprieve here in Des Moines for a little bit. So with that, it looks like they're catching up on the road just a little bit here. Still probably need more time, but it looks like things are slightly improving momentarily. Like I said, I really think the worst conditions are going to be more so tomorrow. We'll be back live then to cover that. But for right now, really, it seems more like snowfall. There is wind that's coming into play, but the most intense conditions are going to be much later. Okay. Here's our current storm progression here, and it looks like a lot of mergers are about to happen here. Still waiting on this QLCS to really form up here, but I haven't really seen anything that's caught my eye still. We actually at one point did have a tornado warning over here towards Little Rock, but that quickly weakened before it even could get itself off the ground or even onto the ground. So I've just kind of been stuck in limbo with this one here. With any luck, maybe this storm system won't do anything. I get the feeling that by the time I get ready to go for work, it's when this thing will start to ramp up within the next 3 hours or so. So just kind of stay tuned. Just keep an eye on this, even after we go off on here, because that's when this thing might try and pull a little fast one on some of us here. I'm kind of leery of it, because it really would be sometime around 4 or 5 Eastern time, so about 3 or 4 Central, whenever this thing really, I think this thing will start to ramp up again. The timing on what the forecast guidance was showing is kind of, definitely looked like it was kind of off here. Also, before we call it a night, if anyone wants to comment exactly what they're expected to see in their area, you don't have to say your area, but you can tell, you can give me an idea of just what you're expecting. High winds, snow, rain, severe weather. Definitely drop that in the chat if you'd like. Don't be shy. I don't bite unless you bite me first. Okay, I just made that awkward. Never mind. Just made that really awkward. Anyway. Is there any other area that anyone in here could be interested in looking at also while we're at it? There's only so many places we're able to look at currently. Really hate that I couldn't get these into widescreen here for you guys. I do apologize for that. We're still working on getting better sources here for the cameras here as well. I'm also looking around on other sources too while I'm at it, trying to see if there's any storm chasers that are even still chasing out here. Looks like even they're calling it a night. Looks like the only thing we can do really is call it the same as far as wait, hang on. I might have found somebody chasing on here. Maybe one person. And that's it. Sheesh. They are a trooper. Looks like one Jason Cooley. Definitely give them a follow whenever you get some spare time as well. There's not many people that are willing to go out and chase 1 or 2 in the morning. So, got to give credit where it's due. Okay. Well, in any case, it looks like we'll be resuming coverage tomorrow afternoon at the very latest. The earliest will probably be back right around lunchtime my time in regards to this winter weather threat. Severe weather threat's kind of up in the air right now. Timing just didn't really seem to pan out for me this time around, unfortunately. And also, I guess, fortunately in a way, because obviously we don't want people's lives being turned upside down by severe weather. So, all in all, it's alright. But in any case, hope everyone has a good night's rest. I'll see you guys later. And, yeah. Till then, horns up. It's been Tired Metalhead Weatherman. I'll see you guys next time.